All eyes on the sky for about 4 minutes across North Texas. From across the region, from Ennis to Dallas, Trophy Club, and Arlington. The clouds parted for most people to get a glimpse of this phenomenon.
My mind started saying yippee because I did not want it to be cloudy for a once-in-a-lifetime event.
With people from around the world here for just this moment.
I also felt kind of a sense of real humility and how small we are and everything, and yet we're part of something amazing.
Very few things in life live up to the hype and the billing. This one exceeds it.
You're watching Fox 4 News.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Eager, and as quickly as the eclipse ended and moved out of view in North Texas, our attention turned to the severe weather threat moving in. Eyes back on the sky now, strong to severe storms heading our way, and we'll be going through the Metroplex into tonight. Fox 4 meteorologist Dylan Federico. Dylan.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Beautiful afternoon for the eclipse, but now our severe weather threat is ramping up across the area. Storm Prediction Center not messing around at all. Enhanced risk for much of the Fox 4 viewing area, including here in the Metroplex. Storms tonight will be capable of producing very large hail, damaging winds, and there could be some tornadoes as well. So my advice is heading into tonight, have multiple ways of receiving a warning because the severe threat will continue into the overnight hours and into tomorrow as well, with multiple rounds expected across the area. Setting the stage for you looking outside right now, sun's out. That's giving us a lot of energy for these storms to work with later on tonight. And looking off to the south, here they come, right? That warm front, storms firing along that line across East Texas and then into South Central Texas. And these are rolling right up Interstate 35 in our direction and will increase in coverage and intensity as we head into tonight. So here's what we're thinking, looking at the forecast for tonight. Severe storms expected, otherwise cloudy and breezy. Like I said, have multiple ways of receiving that warning. Otherwise, heading into tomorrow, much of the same. Highs back in the 70s. Severe storms expected once again, and there will be a heavy rain and flood threat as well across parts of North Texas. So we are going to be very busy here over the next day or so. Let me time this out for you on Futurecast. Not a lot going on right now, but as we head into tonight, notice 9 p.m., storms breaking out across North Texas. Notice we have a round coming in from the south that'll impact places from the Metroplex into our eastern zones. But then notice as we head deeper into the night, here comes that second round of storms from the west. And these will impact us throughout the night. Like I said, hail, damaging winds, and an isolated tornado or two certainly cannot be ruled out. This continues into the morning hours tomorrow when we see yet another round roll in from the west. And notice heading into midday tomorrow, widespread strong to severe storms expected across North Texas. So like I said, I have multiple ways of receiving that warning, and we'll break down the timing of this even more coming up in your full forecast. Back to you.
All right, Dylan, thank you very much. Over the past couple of days, there's been a lot of concern about clouds covering up the view of the big show. Turns out old pessimistic me and a lot of others got a great celestial surprise today, a clear view and a memorable experience. Going to show you a Sky 4 video. Hundreds and hundreds of people gathered in Ennis to see the transition from light to dark and then back in just about 4 minutes time with cheers in between. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager shares more on what she saw in Ennis today. Peyton.
Hi, Steve. You were pessimistic, but I was optimistic. We'll get to that in a moment, but the city of Ennis really has been preparing months, if not years, for this day. And right behind me, everyone's gone home. The stage is being taken down. The tents are being loaded up. But if you were out enjoying the total solar eclipse and you missed what happened in Ennis today, it was perfect. It was cloudy throughout the day, but as soon as, totality started and everyone started cheering, there was this giant break in the clouds, and then everyone really was silent. We can roll to some video if we haven't yet. You know, it was really silent, and everyone was taking in that 4.5 minutes of totality here in Ennis. I was blessed to be in this location. I wanted to be in this location. We were above here on this rooftop bar restaurant, looking down at everyone, you know, children and parents looking up at the total solar eclipse. It was a magical moment. And also I had the pleasure of meeting people from New Zealand, Australia, Europe, some in Europe, the UK, Paris, France. So one man we talked to, he came all the way here from Australia, and he really put what happened in totality in the best words possible. Take a listen. What was that 4 minutes like for you?
It's actually kind of hard to describe. It was this silent moment of awe, and it was beautiful. And actually, the minute or so before it, as it was getting dark and cooling down, and everyone was sort of cheering, but also then it went silent. So it was just electric. I mean, you talked about hair standing on end, and I felt that way too. It was like real goosebump moment.
Yeah, Steve, I was talking to Jeremy. He was such a delight. Like the hair on my arms were standing up. I had kind of a tickle in my throat. It was pretty magical here in Ennis, and it was so fantastic to just look out over the crowd, and everyone was just silent. I think everyone may have been like, oh, it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be cloudy, and then they saw the break. And they were like, whoa, this is really happening. So we had a blast here in Ennis. And then after there was a concert, and now everyone's probably exhausted and they're probably hanging out with their friends. But we had a really fun day here in Ennis.
It was fun. And we've heard mentioned in your report and others the cheering. And if you were outside, everybody's outside. And so cheers were everywhere, right? From every neighborhood all around you. You could just hear people. It was really, really cool. I've never experienced that before.
It was awesome downtown here in Ennis, and also people were in Bluebonnet Fields and City Park, so they were really all over Ellis County. And to have 4 minutes and 23 seconds of oohs and ahs and then silence and cheers, it was a magical experience.
It was. Good way. All right. Peyton, thank you. So there are no doubt countless stories of families sharing this experience together today. Fox 4's Lori Brown had the opportunity to not only cover the once-in-a-lifetime event, she had her kids there with her for most of the day, and their schoolmates too. Lori's at Canyon Creek Elementary School with a personal account of this afternoon. Lori.
Steve, yes, it was so special to get to see this eclipse through the eyes of children, and especially not just any children, but my own children here along with their closest friends.
It started to get really cloudy.
McShane Brown, my son in 4th grade, has been counting down the days to the eclipse and watching every weather report.
I noticed that there was blue sky.
And then there was the moment we all realized we might get to see totality despite an earlier blanket of clouds.
I've seen the sun get eaten up piece by piece.
My daughter Bella Brown was in her 2nd grade classroom when hope arrived.
She said, I see blue skies, and we were all screaming.
Brooklyn Brown is in pre-K, where she's been learning there could be things to listen for during totality.
The bugs making sound.
Yeah. Principal Ashley Baker has been working to capitalize on an event like no other here in North Texas.
Anytime we can get students excited about real world learning, that's the absolute best. So they've been running outside. They're like, look at the moon, look, it's starting, it's happening.
I like that the whole moon covers the sun. We're on the 4th stage of the solar eclipse. We only have 2 more stages to go until it's the full solar eclipse. It looks like it's getting darker.
What does it look like right now?
A block of cheese.
I see it! 3, 2, 1!
And then it happened. And a cloud cleared just in time.
When it got totally dark and the moon passed through.
Like it was just like a ray of sunlight around like just black.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
I saw the partial eclipse a couple months ago, but that was really, really different. So and it was so dark.
I'd never seen anything like it. I'm so lucky that I'm able to see this right now.
But as for those bugs Brooklyn wanted to hear, what did you hear the most of?
Screaming.
Exactly.
It was so cool because you could take your glasses off in the middle of it, and we were screaming and shouting because it was so fun. The temperature got colder. We got to see it, and some people don't get to see it.
There's no word in the English dictionary that could explain how happy I was.
Do you think you'll remember this?
Yes, forever.
Yeah, I wanted to hit the rewind button. I want to travel to another solar eclipse. That was so amazing.
It's hard for me to imagine it, but my oldest son here is going to be 31 years old when the next total solar eclipse happens in the United States. And because this was such a fun experience, we've been talking about maybe that would be fun to plan a trip along that path of totality, which is going to go from the Pacific Northwest down to Florida, McShane's birthplace. Back to you.
That's great. All right, that would be a fun trip, Lori. Thank you so much. Thanks to all those kids, too. All right, so there was a lot of talk about expected traffic problems related to watch parties and gatherings. Yeah, and not so much. We'll take a look. And here's live radar. As you know, there are watches and warnings in place already. There's a couple of tornado warnings out. We're just looking for some rough weather a little later. Dylan Federico's in the house. He'll check in on that coming up.